I hate to say talk in sound bites, but sometimes if you can sum something up in like 15 seconds, that way that powerful statement can get in there. Mm-hmm. So if they clip any of it, mm-hmm. you'll have one of those sentences that are like bam.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll just roll with it.
Do you want me looking at you? Where do you want me looking? Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Just look at me. Pretend that the camera's not here, and then if you forget anything, just tell me, and we can.
Sure.
Whatever you want to say.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So, in the best way to sum up Rancho Feliz, which is extremely difficult to do.
Yeah.
If you had your elevator speech, right?
Uh-huh.
You had to tell somebody really quickly, how would you describe what you have built and what it is?
I would describe it by saying that there is magic in the natural world. We call it Drala. You can invite magic into your life through service to others. It's a portal to coincidence, to great friends. Look at all these wonderful people I would have never known had I not gotten involved with Rancho Feliz. So my bottom line is I want to be a happy guy. I got this little journey called life. I want to make it as happy as I possibly can. And to me, and I've tried them all, to me, service to others feeds your soul. It gives you purpose. It makes your life happier. And when you're on your final deathbed, you can say, you know what? I made a difference in this world.
And how would you compare it? Because I can hear people at home saying, no, I know nonprofits, but this isn't a nonprofit in the normal sense, right?
Exactly. No, we have a what we call reciprocal giving. Receivers become givers and givers become receivers. And that's what makes us different. The average view of charity is that it's a sacrifice. And I don't know where we got that from, formal religion or what, but when I have enough leftover time or money, I will sacrifice. I always laugh thinking about a group of guys sitting around watching a football game and it's over and they say, well, what do you want to do now? Let's go sacrifice. It ain't gonna happen. But when you can feed your soul, let's go make our lives purposeful. And I love to party, then we can have a beer afterwards, but making a difference. These people are just like you, and they are just like me. There's only one difference. They were born on the other side of a mental construct we call a border. That's the only difference. And if I can come out here with my friends and we can make their lives more rich and give them a way with dignity and opportunity to raise their children with respect, you can't have any more fun than that.
Because when you come across the border for the first time in Agua Prieta, you look around and you don't see a lot of hope.
Right.
And it's hard to imagine, especially from where we come from, privileged lives.
Right.
There's an abundance of anything we want, and we're encouraged to want more. But these people are given a new chance. They're given that hope with these houses. Not only that, but when you come and meet them, mm-hmm. and they feel so mm-hmm. good, mm-hmm. what's ahead. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they would have that necessarily before.
No, and I always think, how would I like to wake up every morning and look and see a great big wall that says, stay the hell out. You're not as good as we are. Then all of a sudden I see all these gringos down there helping my neighbors and stuff like that, and it changes perception. That's what Rancho Feliz is all about. It's not things, it's changing consciousness. We're all brothers and sisters in this game, whether we want to admit it or not. And for me to sit up there in Scottsdale and pretend that I don't know this is going on, what a travesty. Not for them necessarily, for me. I've done the Scottsdale scene, I've done all that stuff, and it's great and it's fun, but it doesn't give you joy like we will have tonight. We will have a big mariachi dinner, and the little families will come join us, and we will be purposeful and we'll be meaningful, and our lives will improve greatly. So, I always say Mother Teresa was selfish, and there's no such thing as altruism. I believe that. She found out what brought her joy, and she jumped in 100%. By definition, that's selfish. So am I. It feeds our souls.
I think people who get their hands in it, right, who are working right behind you because of you, we fall asleep tired, but we fall asleep with a smile on our faces.
Absolutely.
Because we made somebody's life different.
Right. And on some level, we all know. We know that, I have a friend told me the other day in the U.S., I'm a self-made man. Really, you were born in the United States of America with every educational opportunity, parents who loved you, business opportunities, and yeah, you worked hard and you did well. Be born in Agua Prieta and you let me know how you can be a self-made man. Tell me the difference between the words opportunity and freedom. These people have no opportunities. So they're trapped in a prison of hopelessness. It's a generational cycle that you just can't get out of unless a group comes down and says, hey, I'm going to pay for your scholarship. Rancho Feliz has funded over 3,000 scholarships over the last 2 decades. That's how we change the world.
And people who come again get to see it come to fruition.
They do. They get to see the little child they sponsored go to college, go to university, get a degree, become contributing members of the planet. And whose benefit is that? All of ours. If we can provide people like this family a way to live with dignity in their home country of Mexico, they don't want to immigrate illegally into the U.S. They don't want to leave their traditions, their food, their families. But when you can only make, you know what the average wage is here? $12 a day, not an hour. A day. Now you tell me, how are you going to raise a family on $12 a day? You're not. You're going to jump the line, and that's what's going on here.
So, speaking of feeding your soul, hard work, making a difference, all these people behind you who are pounding nails who have come back for their 4th year, 8th year, whatever,
right.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel, I was thinking about this the other day. It's destiny. This is my destiny. It just is.
You rarely have a quiet moment when you hear everything going on behind you, but then also gathering with mariachis at night and talking with your friends and being able to be around the people that you love. When you are alone right before you fall asleep, do you ever think, wow, how does it feel in your heart and just in your mind as your own being? How do you feel?
I feel like I'm a very, very fortunate man. I was born into all kinds. I grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona. Give me a break. With parents who love me, educational opportunities. I'm just so fortunate that, if you think about it, where else on planet Earth? I mean, I've got Mexico 4-hour drive from my front door where I can have this kind of disparity and I can make this kind of a difference in the world. Go to India, you got Pakistan, Bangladesh and places like that. But for some reason, I was put here, and I have the ability to motivate people to come down and see another way of living their life, open their hearts, open their minds, tear down these silly, ridiculous, regurgitated statements. Why don't those damn Mexicans stay in their own country? Come down here for a day, hang out with me, and let me show you why they don't stay in their own country. So it makes me feel just so fortunate that I had the opportunities to come to this realization so that I could maximize my short period of time on this planet.
When I used to talk to people about border issues and we differed in opinions in massive ways, I used to say, we never think anybody's going to do anything to us, right? We're the most powerful country on the planet. But what if something did happen? And we needed another country to come and help us. We were absolutely desperate, and this is what happened. Our land was flattened. We had no place to live. As Americans, I think we expect somebody to come and save us. But yet, so many of us will do it for anybody else. It's unbelievable. It's like, wouldn't you? It's like do unto others as you would want others to do unto you. But I think as Americans, we expect it to happen, but to others, it's not us. It's not us.
I studied this a lot, and it's evolutionary psychology. We're not that far genetically from living in the jungles and everything, and this greed, me first. I mean, why do you have rich people that have 48 different pairs of shoes? I mean, give me a break. It's in our genes in a time when it was life or death survival. Those instincts don't serve us anymore. In fact, they're the opposite. They're taking their toll on our environment and everything else. So you need to sit down, take a Polaroid of where you are historically, and do what's right for the world. Really and truly, educate yourself. We can't just pretend it isn't happening, pretending this poverty isn't here, because guess what? If we keep pretending that it's happened there's revolutions and there will be a war and the have-nots will come. So the most selfish thing we can do to protect our positions in life is help these people. I always think maybe that little girl that gave that scholarship to will invent a cure for cancer. I mean, it's only in our best interest. That's the way we have to look at it. It's not a sacrifice, and it's in our best interest to help as many people as we can on this planet for the short period of time we're here.
Let's talk about the houses quickly and how little really it takes to help people. Because when we think about houses, obviously hundreds of thousands of dollars, but not the ones that you're building here.
Right.
It's not that, you get some people together and you can build a structure for an entire family.
Absolutely. These, we look at about $20,000, that's US dollars to build the homes. But again, I don't believe in welfare, nothing's free. And so on these, we actually create debt. But it's no interest. We take the $20,000, they make a payment of $83 a month. They can prepay it when they want, but that way they've earned their home. I'm not the rich gringo coming in here and benevolently giving you a house. Welfare doesn't work. If we haven't learned that in the United States by now, we never will, but it just doesn't work. So yeah, they come down here, they have great pride in the structures. You look around, they would never have this opportunity. They're proud of their homes. And we feel proud that we can contribute and make that happen for them.
And this will just continue through the generations.
Absolutely. And that's the cool thing about education and these homes, and it's a geometric progression. You educate a girl. I'm betraying my gender here, but girls, they tell, Melissa Gates, anybody that's in that industry will tell you, educate those girls. And seriously, they'll raise their children with education, and boy, within 5 generations, you have touched thousands of lives. So that's what we're about here as well. We understand how it works.
Anybody can be a part of it.
Anybody can be. We all have something to do. Absolutely. You know how Brad's running around with a little Mexican kid. It's going to change this Mexican kid's perception. It's going to change Brad's perception. And that's what it's about, seeing things as they are, not as they've been fed to us. Really understanding that this is we're all on we don't know why we're all here. Some of us were born on a good side of a line, some of us weren't. And those of us that can, shame on us if we don't do something. Yeah, this has been great.
That was fantastic.
Well, you can tell I believe it. I mean,
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yes.
And I do feel fortunate to have been put in this situation.
Well, no, and I mean, and it's true. It's like shame on us if we don't do anything.
Yeah.
We sit up there and with everything offered to us and given to us, and if we don't do something, I mean, how can you really look at yourself in the mirror if you don't at least see it or from another person's perspective and what they're living with?
The interesting thing to me, I live in a gated community, so I go and I drive in a gate, and then I have a garage that goes up, and I drive in, and I've got my own work. I don't have to see my neighbors. We, as a culture, we have isolated ourselves. We're so consumer-oriented, and honestly, I can go into these barrios and see much happier people than I see in my community in Scottsdale, Arizona. They're happier people. Sometimes I ask, would you rather be filthy rich on the side of Camelback Mountain and miserable, or dirt poor and Agua Prieta but happy? And you can't answer that question.
No, I know. It's really true.
It's so self-evident. Of course I'd rather be happy.
Right. And isn't that what we always say? It's like, we just want you to be happy.
Yeah, right.
You hear that all the time.
Yeah.
But nobody thinks about what really... Well, I also think that there are a lot of people in our country right now who are doing ayahuasca or retreats in the dark or all, searching for something, right?
Absolutely.
And it's like, that's a sign, and you don't want to pay somebody $800 to go sit in a dark room or do these rituals, because this is what's going to make you feel better.
But it's interesting, Heather, because I've studied both. The thing about ayahuasca, the thing about those drugs is they give you this interconnected understanding.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. It's the same, because and I know close, very, very close people who have done the ayahuasca experience, and they do it again and again. Because it really does. It